Brought to you by Reuters Plus Content Studios. Sponsored by Mazda.
Hello and welcome to Future Energy Talks with me, Andrew Wilson. Artificial intelligence sits right at the top of today's corporate agenda, and with good reason. Its ability to transform every part of business is still being realized. But a new question might be, does it have the potential to help to reduce carbon emissions and mitigate climate change? That's what we're set to explore next, so do stay with us. So far, much of the world's response to the decarbonisation challenge has been to focus on the hardware, building low-carbon infrastructures to replace decades-old carbon-intensive systems. But is it perhaps AI and digital technology that will truly revolutionise energy transition, powering through data models and adopting large-scale changes more quickly and efficiently than removing physical systems? So joining me to answer this question and more is Belinda Howell. She is, among her other titles, Non-Executive Director at Digital Catapult, as well as Managing Director of Decarbonise Limited. Belinda, great to see you. Thanks for talking to us today. First of all, give us a quick whip round those two organisations that you work with.
Okay, so first of all, Digital Catapult is the UK's Centre for Advanced Digital Technology Innovation, and its aim is to help accelerate the success of early-stage digital technology all the way through the innovation cycle to commercialisation at the end of the day. My day job is also as Managing Director of Decarbonise. It's a sustainability strategy consultancy, and we work with large companies, helping them to define what that journey looks like for sustainability and moving towards net zero and a circular economy, and identify the clean tech companies that can help work with them to provide the solutions to do that.
I imagine this is a space that's particularly busy at the moment. Is it one that's filled with positive energy or one that's filled with resignation and gloom?
Oh, I think full of positive energy, because we know about the science, we know where the technologies are, we have the technologies at our fingertips, we just need to put it all together and make it happen and deliver.
So AI is poised to really start playing a significant role in our ambitions to reduce carbon emissions.
It plays a really significant role. It's a contributory role, it's an enabling factor, if you like, right across all other sectors to help them achieve their net zero targets.
The energy sector particularly is already trying to cut down the amount of energy it uses, and there's a lot of data analysis involved in that. One hopes that other sectors will make the same sort of moves, and AI makes that a simpler or a more effective process, doesn't it?
It can do. So with, for example, the building sector, construction is responsible for 25% of global greenhouse gas emissions, once you include the steel and the cement, etc. So where AI can help is to help with energy efficiency, for example, with smart meters and sensors installed. You also need to insulate those buildings to help them reduce their energy use. And then other digital technologies, AI algorithms will calculate the data that comes from the sensors and feed those into energy management systems, or can feed into other technologies on a production line, for example, to help them perform with greater energy efficiency and therefore lower cost.
So is it a simple upscale of what a lot of people are trying to do in their homes with the smart meters and the allocation of renewable energy and using batteries sometimes?
It's a little bit more than that. That's certainly where you would want to start. But as we go forward, most people in their homes have gas, not really so much oil these days, but certainly gas central heating, for example. So that takes up to 30% of the UK's greenhouse gas emissions is actually heating buildings, not just homes but all buildings. That's a big chunk that we need to deal with. For this reason, because gas boilers produce carbon dioxide when they're working, oil and gas boilers are being phased out of new homes from 2025, so really quite soon. And then the rest of us, with our existing gas boilers, will need to start to change those over. The answer is to, first of all, insulate buildings to reduce that energy demand and use and make them more efficient. Use those smart meters, but then also to electrify everything else, so that new technologies like air source heat pumps can be fitted and retrofitted into buildings. That's far more efficient than burning in your old gas boiler.
But as soon as you say electricity to the homeowner as well as to the business owner, they immediately think, well, that's going to be expensive. I mean, what role can AI play in reducing the cost of the energy that people need to consume?
So what it can do is, for decentralised, intermittent, renewable energy systems like solar, like wind, it can balance the supply and the demand. So when the wind's blowing or the sun's shining, those technologies can be collecting that energy, stored in batteries or in different devices. It might be your electric vehicle or electric boiler, or in battery storage or fuel storage, ready for when it's ready to be used by the user. Balancing that supply and demand helps reduce the overall energy use and the cost, and stabilises the grid as well.
There's the corporate world, and then there's the way people live their lives. And they're both crucial in terms of management of energy, cost of energy, and conserving energy. Taking that example of insulation, then, is AI capable of creating a system which would take a snapshot of perhaps a town or a street or the way people live and make recommendations about how those buildings could be upgraded or how the systems or infrastructure could be changed effectively to reduce the carbon emissions from that simple dwelling area?
Yes, I think it's got a really good role to play, and it might not just be AI. Again, it may be wider digital heat sensing technologies, for example, that can demonstrate how much heat we are losing. Because in the UK, we've got a very ageing housing stock, if you like. It's very leaky, it's losing a lot of heat, and really the first thing you want to do is to insulate it, but to make the case for how much energy we're losing, how much that's costing us, and how much heat that's losing. I think digital technologies can provide the sensing that demonstrate that, and that can go to government, for example, who has in the past set really good targets for zero emission houses, zero carbon buildings, things like that. But those seem to have slightly withered on the vine, and I think with the strength of that sort of evidence that AI and digital can bring, that can deliver the reasons for actually setting really strong policies and targets in this area.
So I suppose for a company it might divide itself into two priorities. One will be your own infrastructure, get advice or look again at how to streamline how that works. And the other will be the infrastructures that aren't yours but surround what it is you do, whatever it is you do. And that must be a process of negotiation.